I'd like to thank you for joining me as my 50th guest. I love David Hansen, so I'm super excited to have you on. And so
Yeah,
for
it's exciting to be here. So excited to be here.
for the first part, can you please explain a little bit about yourself, who you are, for those who don't know?
Hello, my name is Tom Dickerson. I am playing Jared Kleinman in the UK, the first UK tour of Dear Evan Hansen, which is a non-replica production. So it's not the same as the West End slash Broadway version.
So what is obvious it being a not the same. What are some differences? I don't want to give everything away so people can still come to the show. But what are some differences that are
Yeah.
noticeable in the show?
So I guess to make it easier is the similarities are the music. All the music's the same. Music's exactly the same. Story and the script is all the same. There's been some slight rewrites just since it first came out. So there's slight differences in lines, and I think for the American tour they changed a couple of things.
Yeah.
Um, but other than that, it's different choreographer, different direction. It's not your classic set where it's like screens come down
Yeah.
everywhere. Um, I actually only ever saw it as a bootleg from Broadway, so I didn't see the original technically.
So
But
you had never
yes, it's all
seen Devin Hansen live before being Jared.
no.
And so is Jared still insanely cool in the show?
He's like the peak of popularity. Yeah, like he's got like 10,000 aura. Like, yeah, he's still a loser and thinks he's really cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, that it's a lot of who I actually am. So it works quite well.
And so is what was the audition process like for Devin Hansen? Were you one of them that got casted through TikTok, or did you actually go through an official audition process?
I went through an official audition process because there was like you say the TikTok search that went out, which was really great, which got us Sonny Monahan, who was our alternate Evan Hansen. He is on for every single matinee. And he was on today. He was great this afternoon because we've already done one show. Because in the UK, it's well, this is going to be put out as a podcast, and no one's going to know what the time is. But he was great, and I went just through like an audition with my agent. Did one round. I actually initially went for Connor because I had just done the Heathers UK tour and I was covering JD.
Oh,
My main track was Beleaguered Geek, which is much more Jared, but I covered JD and I was like, yeah, I'll cover JD. I could play like Connor, like he's cool, mysterious, like sexy. Went in, sang Sincerely Me, and the director went, could you go out and read for Jared? And I literally, my initial thought as I left was, well, I'm not cool then. I'm not like sexy and mysterious.
it's funny. I
And
don't see
then
you as a JD. You're so like fun that I don't see you as a JD like at all. It's crazy.
yeah, but if I like take my glasses off, it looks
Yeah.
like can't believe I did that. Um, no. But yeah, it was great to play. It was good fun to play, and Jared is extremely different to JD.
Oh, definitely. And so
Mm.
what was it like getting the phone call that you were cast as Jared?
Oh, you know what? Well, exciting. But I was on the train going from my hometown, which is Bishop Stortford in England, going into London to go and meet my girlfriend. And I was just by myself on a train. I like got it, heard about it, looked around and was like, there's no one else on the train. So I was like, oh well, I want to tell someone, but there's no one here. But it felt amazing. It felt really cool. And I'd only done I'd only done two rounds, which for other jobs I've done loads of rounds before. So it was a bit of a shock.
Yeah.
But yes, I'm grateful, very grateful for it.
And so what got you into theater when you were younger?
Oh, my mum, she did this song and dance club, this musical theatre school that was on every Saturday called Alley Cats because her best friend was called Ali and she's called Kath. So together they were Alley Cats. And they used to write their own kids like musical show things using like pop songs and all these other musical theatre songs. And yeah, I got in through that. And there was this one I always remember. They rewrote, do you know the film The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly?
Yeah.
Yeah, they rewrote that as a kids' musical. Hilarious. And my mother cast me as the ugly. So I had to sing UGLY. I ain't got no alibi. I'm ugly. So that was really nice. Thanks, Mum.
And so the tour is relatively new. It just started recently. And so what stops are you looking forward to on this new non-replica UK tour?
Oh, I'm looking forward to. There's a lot I'm looking forward to. Manchester. Love Manchester. It's got such good places for food. There's a place called Fat Pat's that does these sandwiches. Oh my God. Manchester's good. Glasgow, really like Glasgow. Big fan of that. I um I feel like there's another one that I really enjoy. I actually quite enjoy Hull. There's a place called Hull in the UK. Have you heard of it?
No.
No, it's a lot of people don't necessarily look forward to going there. No offense to people from Hull, but it's just a bit dead. But I they've got this they've got I think it's the UK's biggest like I think it's called a sea life conservation place rather than like an aquarium. And it's called the Deep. A little bit like The Boys, if you've ever seen The Boys, but with less um, controversy around the Deep in The Boys. If you've not seen The Boys, don't worry. But yeah, I'm quite looking forward to that, really.
Yeah, that's awesome. And so what is your favorite thing about playing Jared Kleiman?
Oh, my favorite thing is and I think this is because I got to have actually I got two favorite things. Because it's a non-replica, we had a lot of freedom with where we could move, how we could say things. Because a lot of the time on shows when they've done the original stuff, you then move to the number on the stage where they were and all this, and you say it the same way that somebody else said it. But we got to like discover all these new things, and I just got to really go a bit mental with a lot of my choices in the show, and a lot of them got kept in. And I think because of that, I've then been able to put my humor and my energy fully into it rather than going, oh, this person did this. I don't actually think that's that funny. That's one of my favorite things, just being able to make it a lot of me. And also the fact that he isn't just a comedy character. He very much in turn is, I'd say him and Alana, they have funny moments in the show and they bring light to a lot of the serious themes. But on top of that, he also represents a type of person that a lot of people can also like empathize with. That person who is a bit of the joker in the group. Those friends who always take the mick out of each other, but they really do that because they're deeply insecure about those things as well. And it's been exciting to explore that through the story rather than just going, I've got funny lines about like sex and stuff. But yeah.
Yeah, and so speaking of lines, what is your favorite line in Dear Evan Hansen? It doesn't have to be one you say, but it can be.
It's this one I love. There's this one I love that that Cynthia says. Um, it's during the big sort of meal scene, when it's near the end of the show, when Evan Hansen is sort of being like found out by his mum. His mum's gone round to the Murphy's house. They're having a meal. And as Heidi is getting a bit angry and a bit like, I need to get out of here before she sings "Good for You," Cynthia has a line where she just goes, "Oh no." After all this has popped off, like I don't think it should happen. I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna go to work, and it's just in there. She goes, "Oh no." It works well,
Yeah.
and it's acted amazingly. It's just such a fun line.
Yeah.
Um, but other than that, a Jared Kleinman one is how you fell out of a tree. Like, what are you, like an acorn?
That's such a classic Jared
It's,
line that like everyone knows. Yeah.
oh, it's so
Awesome.
good. It's so dumb. It's so dumb. Like, who says that to someone? You fell out of a tree, or
Yeah.
freaking acorn. Yeah, but that one.
And so the next question, what advice would you give to young performers who want to become a professional actor or actress?
I would say, like, just keep pushing for it. Keep pushing for it. There's a lot of speed bumps in life that steer you away from it, or try and pull you back from it. And it's how you sort of like it's how you sort of like get over that hump that drives you to it. I mean, a lot of people want to do it, and sometimes when they get into the industry and do it professionally, it's not the thing that they thought it was. Um, but then keep that stuff up, like in Amdram, and doing it in your local area, because it's musicals are just the absolute best, right? They're so good, and whether or not you're doing it for a living or just doing it for the passion as well, just keep doing it.
Yeah, that's great. And so that wraps up the question portion. As I told you earlier, I have the Devin Hansen script here. We're going to do a little guest line, Jed edition.
Here we go.
Let's see if you can do this before you head to your evening performance.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So the first line is so I'll say the line before and then you just say the line after. Uh wait, what? I wasn't doing that.
Paint the picture. You're in your bedroom. You got Zoe Murphy's Instagram up on your weird off-brand cell phone.
Yep, that is correct.
Yes, nice.
So uh Alana says, yeah, he was definitely in my English class.
Oh, okay. This is a horrible scene because Alana is just chiming in over the top. Yeah, he
Yeah.
was definitely managed. Oh, I got it. Um, Look, do you want to listen to me, or do you want to have another meltdown like last year in English?
Yes, that is correct.
Yes.
You had to think about that one for a second.
Yeah. That took me a while.
Alrighty. Let's see. Uh, but you just said about the t-shirts and the wristbands.
Exactly. We're at the peak, which is why I've got to move these buttons before the bottom drops out of the Conor Murphy memorabilia market.
Yes.
That line is horrid to say fast. Conor Murphy memorabilia market.
It's like
I like,
it's a tongue twister.
yeah. I sometimes do it in warm up with some other people, and they Conor Murphy memorabilia market, Conor Murphy memorabilia market.
It's hilarious.
Oh.
Uh, okay. Uh, just don't change the story, please. Okay.
Here's the story. Just don't change the story. Just don't change the story, please. Okay, well, if you want me to redo this email, you're going to have to wait until Monday because I have plans all weekend with my camp friends. Yes.
That is correct.
This is nice. This is getting me in the zone for the evening show.
Yeah. It's getting you ready for it. Uh, so this one I'll say the line two lines before, I'll say the line before because Evan says yeah. So unless you can say your line after Evan says yeah.
Okay, well, okay, let's try it. Let's try it. Okay, you go.
So you say for Connor, Evan says yeah.
Oh, Connor. Yeah. You know, when you really stop and think about it, Connor being dead, yes.
Yes. And so does this
Hell
show
yeah.
ever get a little like is it hard to perform because of how emotional the story gets?
Yeah. I think luckily again for me, I'm one of the few characters that doesn't have to get
Emotional.
it, and I still get emotional on stage. The
Yeah.
whole building up to the ending and good for you and you'll be found reprise. It gets quite heavy. But luckily I don't have to like
Ball your eyes
Brian
out.
Capel. Yeah, yeah. Ryan and Sunny, they just
Yeah,
like
you don't
from
have to
words
perform.
fail.
Yeah, I was gonna say you don't have to perform a whole awards fail. Like,
Oh my God, the journey through that, like, holy hell, that is mental.
yeah,
But
for real.
it is still knackering. I feel like I have to put a lot of energy into it. Because I'm quite physical with my character. I do a lot of stupid stuff just with my body. So yeah.
Okay, so speaking of good for you, uh,
Hmm.
let's see, where was it?
Hey, if you want to make it harder, maybe if you could say my line, and then I have to think of what the line is next
Let's
that the
do
next
that.
person.
Yeah. So, tell me to stop, and I'll go to a random page in the script.
Stop.
Alrighty. Oh, it's your scene. We're not doing that. You stopped on your scene where you're calling Evan an acorn.
Perfect.
Okay, let's,
Stop.
okay, that works. Okay.
Okay.
I don't know why I said that about my dad. It's not true. My parents got divorced when I was 7. My dad moved to Colorado.
Yeah. Shaving cream, mattress, rubber bands,
Yep.
repeat. Pretty much that. Yes. I got that. Can't believe it.
Yes, you got that. Okay, let's do that
Yes.
one more time.
Yeah. One more time. One more time. One more time. Stop.
Okay, that's a good one.
Mhm.
Okay, Zoe says, "I'm sorry."
Jesus, I'm sorry. Wait. Zoe says, I'm sorry.
Yes.
Why would she say I'm sorry? Oh, okay. Surely, it's got to be in the Only Us scene, I think.
Yep.
But the whole thing with Evan is that Evan always says he's sorry. I'm, I'm sorry. Um, oh,
Evan, I'll give you
okay.
the first word Evan says. He says, "Well."
Well, I think that you look really nice today, so maybe we should be boyfriend and girlfriend properly. That's
Uh,
it, right?
the line is, "Well, hey, I meant to tell you before. We had a meeting about the Kana project, and we think we have a good strategy for raising money."
Oh, nice. So they were just talking about throwing a kegger, right?
Yes, that is.
Oh, damn it. That was hard. That was hard. Giving me, I'm sorry. Well, for if I ever go on for Evan, then I'll have to just look into it a bit more.
Sonny will be in an earpiece going, "Okay, here's what you say. Here's what you say."
Yeah. Like Impractical Jokers, just like tell
Yeah.
me what to do.
Well, and so this one is one of your lines.
Okay.
Uh, Evan says, "We need more emails. Emails showing he was getting worse. This isn't funny." Yeah.
Oh, so
You-
there's there's a scoff. There's a scoff. So it goes, we need more emails saying that he wasn't right or something like that. And then there's it says Jared scoffs. So that's what I take as always as my line after that. Sorry, this isn't funny. Oh, I think it's hilarious. I think everyone would probably think it's hilarious.
Yes, that is correct.
Nice.
And
Way.
so we're gonna go to the fan questions now.
Okay, perfect.
Uh, so what is the hardest part about this one comes from Emma, a girl named Emma. What is the hardest part about being in a non-replica production tour?
The hardest part is, I think, is is staying completely true to the story and the meaning of it, but without like copying what was there before. Obviously, it's the exact same story of the original and the same songs and everything, but it's breathing a new life into it rather than just. I mean, for me, it's listening to Sincerely Me, having heard it so many times and hearing oh, what's his face, Mike Rowland,
Mike Feist,
uh, Will Rowland, yes, Mike
Will
Feist and
Roland.
Will Rowland, hearing how he has said all the interjections and just going, I can't just copy that
Yeah.
because I want to be, but also he does it
And,
so well.
and yeah, I
So
was gonna say, and Will
yeah,
Roland is incredibly talented. So,
so talented.
and so,
Yeah.
and so this one comes from a girl named Robin. What
Mhm.
is your favorite thing about Dear Evan Hansen?
My favorite thing is that we don't do a big dance at the end. So when we leave the stage, we're not all sweaty. that's that's my favorite thing. No, my favorite thing is seeing the audience reaction, how many people connect with it, and you can hear people like sniffling at the end at like at how sad it is and how much it touches
Yeah.
them. And all the fans at stage four have been really nice. There's some shows where there's fans who can be a bit crazy, not crazy, who can
Who get a little
who
overexcited.
yes, very very good word. They get overexcited, and it's felt like a lot more people at stage door have wanted to actually talk about the show rather than just go, "Can I just get a photo?" Which is also fine. Which is also fine. You're welcome to a photo anytime. But it's nice to then have a show that discusses those topics and opens up the conversation.
And so this one comes from Jacob. Who was your
Mm-hmm.
favorite standby Elder Cunningham on the Mormon tour?
I've got to say, George Crawford.
And the second part of that
Oh, my.
question, the second part of that question is actually why is it Jacob Yarlett?
Oh, Daddy. My regular track in Book of Mormon. Have you seen it? You know Book of Mormon?
Oh yeah, yeah.
I was Elder Young and also Elder Cunningham's dad. So I would do "You're making things up again, Arnold." So I would every time he was on, I was his dad, and he just always calls me like father, daddy. Which I like. Thanks, Jacob. But Jacob was so good, and we didn't go on together because we did the tour before COVID, where we did go on quite a few times, and then after COVID, we never. It just never was a thing that we both like matched up at the same time that the Elder Cunningham and Elder Price were off. Because because I was the first cover Elder Price on the tour, so I would also like
Yeah.
sometimes be on with him. But yeah, he's awesome. Jacob's amazing. Amazing fashion sense. Once gave me a hoodie, which I still have, a Carhartt hoodie actually, which is really expensive. So
That's awesome. And so this one, I don't know if you'll be able to answer it because it's a hard question. But Heather's or Dear Evan Hansen? This one comes from for Viv Tom Ryan.
with Tom Ryan, because Vivian, as in Vivian Pankaram, Ryan Capel, and Tom Dickerson. Okay, okay. It's hard because Heather's has quite a strong place in my heart, and I had a great time on it. I love the music. The cast was all great, but Dear Hansen is such a different thing. Even though I'm still playing a 17-year-old
A high
at
school.
school, at high school, and I'm 28 years old. Um,
Except this time you're not trying to blow up a school.
I'm not trying to blow up a school. Instead, I'm just trying to key Evan off
Yeah.
as much as I can. Um, okay, I'm gonna say it. Dear Evan Hansen. I do love Heathers. I do really like Heathers, and it's got such a dedicated fan base. But yeah, Dear Evan Hansen, because yeah, shut up. Anyway.
And so this one comes from Grayson. At the end of the show, do you ever give away casts, the cast, they reused throughout the tour?
No, because we have a cast that gets reused. It has a little inner soft padding, and the harder stuff is a harder shell on the outside. That they write. So Connor writes Connor on there, does a little smiley face in the O, and then when Evan goes off at some point, I'm pretty sure it's just at that on that scene after he's written it, he takes it off and he puts on another cast which has Connor written on it, so then they can wipe it off.
Huh.
Yeah, I guess because I assume like giving a cast away or having a new cast every single night is probably quite expensive.
Yeah, I was gonna say, especially with it being a non-replica tour, it's probably a little easier to do a reusable cast.
Yes, for sure, for sure.
This one comes from Emily. What was your favorite part about playing JD?
Oh, was getting to be a little bit evil. Being evil was really fun. The song "Meant to Be Yours" is
Yes.
so good.
It's such a
Oh,
fun song to perform.
it's so fun. It's so fun, and you get to be
Unhinged.
crazy. You get to be unhinged, but you have to be truthful to the unhinged. Otherwise, it's just boring.
Yeah.
You have to play it so that it's a bit like have you seen the Joker film?
No. The new one or the old
No.
one?
Yes, yeah. The first one.
Oh,
You sort of you see what he goes through, but you like empathize with him. So, well, I mean, I don't know if I even did that, but it's good. It just felt good to sing the song, but not just go like you chug me out.
yeah.
Um,
And I mean, you see
yeah,
him from the beginning of the show, and you see him increasingly go more evil until finally you go into Dead Girl Walking with Please.
yeah. That's it. He's like he's gone. He's locked in to go and blow up a school.
Yeah.
Which isn't it is not it's not a good idea, not a
Yeah.
good choice.
And I mean, you don't really see the Jared isn't really evil, but I mean, you see him like a little like annoying at the beginning, but then at the end, you finally see him like get angry at Evan
Mm.
doing good for you, uh, which is
Well,
well, not
yeah,
angry, but
he's
like he's more frustrated, I guess. I don't know.
yeah, for sure. He's the way I like to play it is like jealousy. Is I feel like a lot of people have been in that position where you've been really close with somebody and then they meet a girl or a boy or their significant other half and they just stop putting effort into you, and it's just the most it just hurts so much, doesn't it? Even though everyone does it to everyone, um, yeah, he has that jealousy. Even though from the start he just sort of takes the mick out of Evan, but he takes the mick out of Evan because he gets taken the mick out of, right? Um, so yeah, he does have that arc of just being like, I'm like bullying this guy, but then we become friends, and now he's leaving me behind,
Yeah. And so,
which is
that wraps up the interview and the questions. I'd like to thank you for joining me today on my 50th episode.
hey, hell yeah! Thank you for having me. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Dear Evan Hansen, today is going to be an amazing day, and here's why. On the outside, always looking in, will I ever be more than I've always been? 'Cause I'm tapping on the glass, waving through a window. I try to speak, but nobody can hear, so I wait around for an answer to appear while I'm watching people pass. You will be found.